So as we begin our experience today, I'm just going to invite you to really lean in to this conversation of wealth and abundance. I'm really excited because we have as our guest today one of my dearest friends on the planet, someone who I not only see as a soul brother, but also someone who is, for me, the embodiment of this avatar of a wealth creator, of an empire builder, of someone that's out there creating abundance for not only his family, but also for the world. And he's been able to empower so many people. I am grateful for our journeys and the places that we've got to play together. We launched this movement together called Limitless, and have the chance to train thousands and thousands of people through the time that we worked together there. And since then, Kris has built this massive YouTube empire and has over 535,000 people that are tuning in to his advice and wisdom and learning the insights that he has in terms of wealth creation. So I'm really excited to have Kris here as our Mastery Hour mentor to support us. Kris, are you there?
Yes, I am, my friend.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh, it's so fun. I've been so excited to create this experience with you for a long time. And just how are you?
You know what? It's amazing. When coronavirus hit, I got so excited because my biggest level ups and breakthroughs always happen when there's a crisis. Crisis opens up like human advancement. It's when actually things get so much better. It's almost like we're stuck when we're in the peak of summer and the people are making the most money. It's when innovation is at a low. And it takes something like winter and disaster to wake us up to really make everything better. So frankly, the last 2 months, I've been working a lot more than I like, been making a lot more money and having a lot more fun and serving a lot more people. And so it's just been great. I've been loving it.
And that's so amazing. I hope everyone, as we have this conversation, just really tune in to what is the mindset of someone that's an ultra producer like Kris. I'm going to have you chime in the chat below and see if you can capture some of these ideas. But when Kris talked about the coronavirus and COVID and this crisis that's what's going on, what did you notice as he was sharing that? And this is the mindset of ultra producers, where they look at crisis as opportunity. Crisis equals opportunity. Remember that. If you can remember that, it will change your world in terms of wealth creation. Because most people, the average normal person, is just wanting everything to work out right. And as long as everything's working out right, then they can be successful. And the moment something goes wrong, they blame the economy, they blame the environment for the reason why they're struggling. But Kris has just embodied this idea that, ultra producers, they look at opportunities like this as the greatest season for wealth creation. Kris, for you, when you look at the COVID crisis, and how have you needed to shift and evolve your business, and what were some of the things you did mentally to shift and adapt, and what were some of the tactical things you did within your business to tap into the opportunity?
No, it was a really good question. So Gerald, back in 2008, when we had the subprime crisis, as a real estate investor, I've done about $1 billion worth of real estate. And all of a sudden, literally in October, all of my competition, it seemed, were going out of business with the banks, and everyone stopped and people didn't know how to react. And, I wasted several $100,000 trying to figure out how to pivot because I didn't know I was supposed to pivot. It was my first economic winter. Since then, I've been preparing myself for economic winter. In fact, 3 years ago, I started drawing up battle plans saying, right now, the stock market is overdue. It should be collapsing. I don't know why it's not, but it's just a matter of time. The real estate market probably has 5 to 8 more years before it shifts. And so I started having meetings with my team and planning products for saying, when economic winter hits, we will be ready from day one. And that was 3 years ago. When coronavirus, when it struck, I pulled all of my teams together. And I told them, I said, if you look at the media, there is fear. People are going to lose their jobs. Unemployment's going to get bad. But we knew that this was coming, and we've been preparing for this. And we were just canceling one of our events that normally would have been, a 7-figure revenue source for our business. And we said, guys, events are going to shut down. We're not going to be able to do them. So we need to reinvent ourselves. And I said, in the next 90 days, I want you guys to make twice as much money as if we had had an event. You figure it out. And I remember for those first few weeks, how many members of my team came to me and they said, Kris, like your leadership is exceptional. And please, please don't take that in a braggadocious way, but they said, I've got friends losing their jobs and my wife's afraid or my husband's afraid. Like, thank you so much for making this environment a place where we can be strong and excited. And frankly, we've been hiring people during the coronavirus and we've been expanding. So I think, Gerald, the first part is everyone needs to understand that the economy functions in its cycles of spring, summer, fall, winter. Winter is predictable. You may not know when it is, but you know that it comes after fall. Don't be surprised when it comes. Right now, I've got friends that have lost their entire businesses. And one of my friends, he lost 90% of his revenue and let go of most of his people. And I challenged him and I did a breakthrough. And 2 weeks later, he shot right back up because he said, Kris, some of my competition is doing better than pre-COVID. And I just said, it starts in the mind. We could talk strategies, we could talk pivots, but I just want to first highlight that the most important decision that you make is already, guys, all we ever do is fulfill our own prophecies. So the question is, what is the seed that you're planting for the prophecy you're going to fulfill? COVID will end, and then you'll look back on the rest of your life, and your kids will ask, what did you do during COVID? And you'll either say, I shrunk and became less, or I grew and I became more. And it's a decision. So right now, everyone's got to make a decision. I made the decision 3 years ago that it was literally going to be the absolute best of times. And I kid you not, my company is currently right now sitting on 23 times growth, and we don't know how to do it all. It'll take us 3 or 4 years to actually capture all the rain of abundance that opened up in just 6 weeks. So how's that happening? Because frankly, I called it into creation, just like anyone else can do.
Okay, I got to pause here because like this is the magic. This is what I've always loved about Kris. Kris is like so confident in his ability to manifest that in that confidence, he puts out this energy, and in that energy, he's able to lead, he's able to create, but it all begins with his mindset that problems equals possibility. Like, remember that. Problems equals possibility. And in that possibility, there's this sense of power, there's a sense of purpose that emerges. And because Kris has that level of certainty within himself, he's able to enroll and engage the highest and best parts of his team to engage that creativity. And while so many people shrink in fear, this is when leaders rise. And so as you experience Kris, recognize that inside of each of us is that same possibility to be courageous leaders in the time of chaos. Within each of us is that same ability to seek for, like, what are the opportunities? What are the gifts in any given challenge? And in that, it's just that decision that says, I am going to call in and manifest that which I desire. But most people, they're not even clear what they want. And so when the media is hypnotizing them with all these reasons to be afraid, they begin to be sucked away from their own vision for their life. And they get drawn into media's, hypnotized perception of what they should think. So Kris, what's your perspective in the way that people maintain that strong mindset despite the external bombardment of fear that people see?
Coronavirus has given us a really great gift. It's given us a gift of time, right? I mean, listen, you've canceled most of your extracurricular activities. You've canceled your trips. You've got more time on your hands to be with your family, to plant your gardens than ever before. And a lot of people are on pause, Gerald. They think, oh, I'm supposed to wait this out. The government will solve this. Well, right now, the government is being so irresponsible with their approach to solving this. They are making things, in my opinion, significantly worse. And I'm saying that because I'm not relying on the government to clean this up. I'm not waiting on the World Health Organization. It's on me. It always was on me. And so too many people are allowing external factors to impact them. Right now, you've got the time to create. You've got time to ponder. You asked what's one of the shaking. What I've been doing is I've been paying attention to people, and I've been asking, what are they really going through and what do they need? Too often we fall in love with our own product, but we don't fall in love with our customers. That we're sitting in the middle of right now is because 3 weeks ago yesterday, one of my very best friends came to me and said, Kris, my boss came to me and said in the next 90 days, they're probably going to let me go. And he was investing in real estate with me. He bought some house, and he said, but Kris, that's like long-term money. That'll take years to become millions. I need money now. I make $100,000 a year. How am I going to pay for my family's expenses? And it was a really beautiful experience because I put myself in his shoes and I was like, man, with 20% unemployment in the workforce, there are so many people hurting this way. And I thought, well, why didn't you take steps before to like have the motivation to become financially more independent and control of your life? And I realized it was too late to ask that question for him, but this is where he's at. And so overnight, I developed a product idea. And I said, all right, dude, I'm going to work with you for 30 days and we're going to make you $8,000 in the next 30 days. And yesterday I met with him. He's 3 weeks into his experiment. He's made $8,800 and he's on track in the next 30 days to make $26,000. And he did it. And I'm like, dude, how does that feel? He says, Kris, in 90 days, I'll be making 40 grand a month. This is amazing. This business is incredible. And the best part is he can leave a job that he's been trying to leave for years. He's a forensic analysis. He puts bad guys away. He has to watch pornography and do things to basically pull bad media off people's devices and then take it to court and then prove that these people deserve to be in jail. And he just says, Kris, it's just been tarnishing my soul. He's been asking me for a year, what can I do? And so I finally said, enough is enough, dude. Here's how you produce active income in 30 days. He followed my advice. It took just a couple hours of training for me. And now, and so I decided to bring that to the marketplace yesterday. And the response was many, many times bigger than I actually thought that it was going to be. But the reason why it happened, Gerald, is because the real question wasn't, oh, how do we make more money since our business is hurting during COVID? No, the question is, what do people need and how do we serve them based on what we know? And so that's been one of my big pivots.
I really appreciate this because I want everyone to tune in right now to this question. How many of you actually are entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs? Go ahead and chime in the chat below. This is really critical because what Kris just shared is the central point for those entrepreneurs that thrive versus those that just survive or die. And it's this idea of falling in love with your customers and being really curious about what are they going through and what do they need. Just remember this, write this down. Like, this is my definition of entrepreneurship, but this definition helps us understand how money works and what we need to do to create more money. So here's the definition. An entrepreneur is someone who solves problems for other people at a profit. That's it. That's all entrepreneurship is. All Kris does in all of his businesses is he looks for what are the problems that people are struggling with and how can I solve those problems for people? And Kris is a badass at solving problems for a lot of people. And here, so many people are struggling financially because they're only concerned about whose problems. The people that are struggling the most right now, whose problems are they concerned about? They're only concerned about their own problems. And they're blaming their boss or they're blaming the environment or they're blaming the other things for creating those problems in their life. And they're stuck in victimhood versus the creators, the conscious creators, as Kris and I teach about. The conscious creators are the ones that are like, okay, let me stop focusing on me. Let me turn outward and see who are the people out there that are struggling that I can then go serve. And so here's the recipe for wealth. Are you guys ready for the recipe for wealth? If an entrepreneur is someone who solves problems for people at a profit, then the recipe for wealth is this: solve more problems for more people. That's it. And solve bigger problems. Kris happens to be amazing at solving really, really big problems. And he has, some clients that are, billionaires and some clients that are, emerging from jobs and they're just launching their business for the first time and they have no idea. But Kris, his entire fascination in his world is like, okay, how can I build a machine that solves a ton of problems? Kris, anything you want to add to that?
It's interesting. I always start with myself and then I always pick a guinea pig and then I just try things. I literally love to be in the constant mode of creation. I'm always seeking the next big creation. It used to be for money and now it's actually just the joy of creation. And it is strange. Like I want to say thank you to the coronavirus for creating an opportunity. Thank you, Donald Trump, for mishandling the situation and thank you to the economy, for being in the dumps, because what it does is unfortunately, it will hurt good people, but it also hurts bad people. Meaning that the people who shouldn't be in business have to find new ways to make money. And then the good people, they're really learning if they're struggling, they're learning that their business doesn't work in winter. That is a gift. And you have to pivot and ask, how can I make this work? And the real root question is, how can I serve more people? I say thank you to the coronavirus because I came out yesterday to 3,000 people, and I shared with them on a webinar what exactly Trent did during those the last 21 days to make $8,800. And it was so stupid. It was so simple. And it's something anyone can do in their backyard. And what that means is, my goal in the next 6 months is to do $100 million business. Not that I make, that all the people make that are just following what Trent is doing. And so that's what you do. You just start with, can you change? Can you do something that can help a person? We always think we can, but do a 30-day experiment. Can you actually help someone? If you can, then all you have to do is say, great, now it's time to systematize. How can I help 1,000 people if I can help one? So find the most powerful way to serve someone in a time of crisis that is meaningful. And by the way, the bigger the problem you solve, like Gerald said, the greater hockey stick of growth you're going to experience. So in Trent's world, I helped them solve a really big problem, which was, I don't know how to replace my income unless I get another job. And I'm not in an industry where I can get another job very easy. So I might be going a year or 6 months or whatever with unemployment. So what do I do, Kris? And so it was in 30 days replacing his entire income. Well, because he could do that in 30 days, if other people could replace their income in 30 days, they'd be all over that. So it solved the big problem. Hence, now it's, how do I systematize it and let other people do exactly what Trent's doing? So how can you serve in the most powerful way? Do an experiment and then multiply.
Yeah. And one of the things that I know, I've spent so much time with you, Kris, like in the trenches and working, and it's like fun watching you work behind the scenes, because Kris is like, everywhere Kris goes, like he's all about playing as big as possible, right? He's always about showing up fully, living life to the best, like, and whether it's with his family, or whether it's when he's leading his big events, or whether it's creating his videos and building his work, he's all about like growing big. And I think sometimes the challenge when people experience you, Kris, is they feel like it's unattainable for them, because it's like, okay, great, Kris can do that, right? Kris is a badass. He's brilliant. He's been gifted with like, the magic touch. But a lot of times people that listen, sometimes they detach what's possible for them because they can't see themselves in what you created. So if you could like peel back the curtain, like back to that part, so that if someone was like, I don't know how to pay the bills right now, I'm worried about my family. Like, number one, have you ever experienced that? And number two,
Dude,
for someone that's in that stage, what is the practical process of upgrading their money mindset so they can actually believe this idea of like making $40,000 a month might seem so outrageous to someone, and they're just trying to make like $4,000 a month. So like take us back to like that foundation for you, and what allowed you to start upgrading your money mindset.
So for me, I mean, my adulthood started with just total financial disappointment. I went to college because I thought I was gonna become a doctor, and I found out I was too dumb to hack the chemistry classes, and that was like super disappointing, because I spent years like building up that dream and getting good grades in high school so I could make that dream a reality. And I remember when I found out that wasn't going to happen, and at the time I was working. I was a full-time college kid at BYU, but I was also working at this telemarketing job. And I made like 18 grand my first year, and it was like more money than I had ever made before. But I was married that first year, and 18 grand did not cover near what my expenses were. And so I felt really deflated. I was deeply in debt, and I basically came to the conclusion that college was this this was like society's gateway from childhood to adulthood. But really all it was career training. It was work for somebody else. It wasn't manifest your own destiny. It was career training. And so I was like, shoot, like they're not going to teach me how to be self-sufficient. I have to do that. What changed the game for me really was mentors. Like to me, it made all the sense in the world. I'm like, a professor cannot help me become financially self-sufficient. They can just help me get a job. And then I found someone that had made over $10 million, and I said, teach me everything that you know. And I followed him around. I annoyed him so badly that they ditched me. Then I found my next mentor that had made $10 million, and he didn't want to spend time with me, but it was a next step of learning more until I found my next mentor, who ironically had made, I think, over $10 million. So all of them had great results, but it was the third mentor that really helped me figure it out. By the time I graduated college, I had a thriving business, a 6-figure residual income, and quit my job.
So
And so,
I want to pause here real quick, because once again, I'm going to invite each one of you that's watching to like pull out like the nuggets from this. Like there's things that Kris is sharing right now that give you a gateway into the breakthrough for you. And here's what I'm hearing is like, number one, Kris made a decision. Kris really made a clear decision of the life that he was choosing to create. And he knew that it was different than the life he had. And so in that space, he knew that he needed a mentor. So write this down. I need a mentor. And he decided to find that. And notice, like, this is one of Kris's greatest attributes. This is why he's been able to thrive so much, is a level of persistence. Once he claimed that decision, he's like, I am going to be persistent. Most people give up way, way, way too easily. Most people say, yeah, I want this. And then the moment they get a no, the moment something doesn't work out immediately, they just instantly retract and give up and say, I guess that wasn't meant to be, right? But Kris was like, this is what I've decided. And he focused on that level of persistence that allowed him, so that he actually found the breakthrough that he was looking for. Okay, continue your story.
No, it's interesting. Mentors was really, yes, the key for me, but every one of you that's on with Gerald right now, you're actually already doing it. You've already discovered this first secret. Although I kind of hoped that my first mentor would like be my end all be all to where I wanted to go. And I've since learned that mentorship has been like a lifelong journey. I've spent multiple 7 figures now on getting coaches and trainers. Right now I have a billionaire that's mentoring me in business. So I always go for the next bigger mentor that can help train me. And like, that's really the key. I look at it and I'm like, listen, don't take it the wrong way, but we all start dumb and naive when we're young. And when I mean dumb, what I really mean is we think we know what's up and down and we know nothing, but we haven't learned yet that we don't know anything yet. And extracting information and as in person as possible from people that have achieved 10 times or 100 times or 1,000 times what you want is like the shortcut. It's the master class. Books are great. They can give you good information, but nothing compares to getting in the airspace or even in the Zoom space of someone that has achieved what you want. So I really do think, Gerald, like for me, that has absolutely been key to learning how to think this way. Really, it is like, it's dozens of mentors that have like put all these ideas in my head and have trained me to be someone that says, oh, I'm open-minded, I'm creative, I look for possibility instead of problem. So many of the things that you're sharing right now and that we've shared over the years together. And that's why like mentorship is really key. But more importantly, you have to implement. Look at every suggestion you get from today's call like an experiment and say, all right, like for example, I didn't plan to share this, but what I shared was, look for the biggest problem that you can solve that is relevant to the current crisis. Take a guinea pig and see if the experiment works. And if it does, then find out how to scale it. And right there, I mean, that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm ever doing. I just know that economic winter produces the biggest problems and hence the biggest solutions. So I get excited about winter.
Yeah, I think that's like such a nugget. I mean, we could end right there and be like, all right, that was, that one insight was infinitely valuable. I'm going to invite you to, Kris, like, what I'd love to do actually, because I know this is one of your secret superpowers, is I would love to take someone from this group and have you lead them through a breakthrough. Someone that's been struggling with money, struggling with, beliefs that are holding them back, someone that's like really uncertain. And I would love to create an experience where Kris can personally coach someone through a breakthrough. So I'm going to invite each one of you, just close your eyes right now. Just close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, I'm just going to invite you to lean in to this idea that we all have blind spots that are holding us back in our life. We all have these dreams that we want to create, and we all have these hidden tethers that are holding us back, these unseen beliefs that are blocking us from creating that result. I'm just going to invite you to look at that. If you know that there's something holding you back, if you know that there's something inside of you that is not living up to your potential, and you know it's time for that breakthrough now, just with your eyes closed, I'm just going to invite you to raise your hand, and I'm going to be calling on one of you that I can just pick on and that Kris can lead through a breakthrough. So if you would like to have a breakthrough right now, just raise your hand. Okay. All right. Go and everyone open your eyes. Okay, we're going to pick on Darcy. Darcy, you are the person that gets to have a breakthrough right now. So Kris, do your magic.
That's the what I love about Darcy.
Hey,
really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Kris. Yeah, thank you for this, Gerald and Kris, this opportunity. So here's the thing that I keep running up against. Entrepreneur out of the womb. And over the years, I have created some really successful stuff. It's like, and it starts to go good, and then I lose it. And it's just been this repeated cycle. And so now what's happened is now I get that I'm creating from fear of like, man, I got this, like right now, I'm working on this amazing, huge, incredible project that's like my work right here. And yet I'm like, man, you know, I know how I've done this in the past. This is not who I want to be, you know, so I am creating me in the future. But the truth is, it's like, I know I've done this so many times.
Yes.
It starts having success and then I eat it.
Yeah, Darcy, I totally get it. By the way, I want to just let you know that every single person on this call can identify with what you're saying, because most of the time we recreate our problems from the past that we haven't learned the lessons from, and we recreate them in the future. So we try again, we do something new, but it's going to get foiled in the exact same way it was in the past. It'll always look different, but there's a pattern. And what you're really looking for is, what is the pattern? How am I sabotaging myself? I have a good start, things are going somewhere, and then I kill it somehow. How am I burning the ship to the ground? And right now, what you want is to know how this current endeavor can succeed. But that is actually not the right thing to want. There's something that every one of us should want more than success and achievement. We should want to understand the lessons from our past failures. If we understood the lesson of a past failure, then what we gain is wisdom, and that wisdom makes it impossible for us to fail with the next endeavor if we've learned all the appropriate lessons. And so there's something we have to want more than success, more than money, even more than helping people, in my opinion. The number one thing that we should always go after is the unlearned lesson. Because if you can learn all your unlearned lessons, then success is inevitable. You have to have it. So let's see if we can figure out what that is from the past, and help you figure out how to not repeat that. Does that sound good?
Okay, let's go.
All right, Darcy. So first of all, when you look at, I want you to look at your most recent failure that is in your mind that you were disappointed by.
Okay.
Can you think of it?
Are you talking about most recent failure or business failure?
When I think of most recent failure, I don't care what comes up. I just want you to think of, what is the most recent failure that is triggered that has me fearful that my new endeavor is going to fail? Can you think of just, and it doesn't matter what it is, it's what comes to mind. You got it?
I got it.
Okay, awesome. When you think about that past failure, if you had to put in one sentence your take-home lesson, what is it?
The failure that comes up is that I feel like what shows up for me is I get really emotional about it, is because I feel like I let a lot of people down, and I feel
Yes.
like I hurt people.
Right there, pause. I hurt people. That is the dialogue that is in your head. And when you're creating something new, you have a big building block called I hurt people, and you are constructing your new idea with that fear. And by the way, fear is a really powerful emotion, and our most powerful emotions will exhibit and manifest. So by the way, that fear, because it's been reinforced in the past, you have to create your new endeavor with the fearful building block of I hurt people. And here's what it means. If you don't change that, I can actually make you a guarantee. This new endeavor will hurt people, and it will reinforce more body bags that you witnessed from the past. And in time, it'll catch up with you. Depression, anxiety, stress, fear will abound, and you'll never figure it out. That is the path for every person that doesn't get the lesson. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I want to ask you, does it serve you to believe that you hurt people?
It absolutely does not.
Nope, but that is what you're creating with. So we need a new belief. We need a new building block. So every one of you likely knows, if you've been spending time with Gerald, that when you create a new belief, it needs to be present tense, It needs to be powerful, meaning it really speaks to your soul. And it needs to be positive. For example, you can't say, I don't hurt people, because all your programming is don't, which you've done enough of in your life, and hurt people. Right now, instead of hurting people, what is it that you really want?
I want to set people free.
Thank you. Right now, I'm going to have you come up with 3 statements. You're going to write the first one down. I set people free. By the way, as I'm having this conversation with Darcy, I hope all of you are asking, for my most previous failure, or the one that is most in here, what was my take-home lesson? What am I most afraid of? And that's called a limiting belief. Darcy's limiting belief is I hurt people. And so that's what she will create more of, because it's what she fears. Job said it, what we fear the most, we bring about the most, right? So Darcy now has, I set people free. Give me another one.
I help people live out their dreams.
I help people live out their dreams. That is beautiful. Write that down. This is really important, because I'm going to show you what to do with this. And then I need one more.
I help people live a beautiful, extraordinary life.
Write it down. I need you to have all 3 of those. Darcy knows what she wants to believe, but the problem is the opposite has been programmed from past failure. And Darcy, I appreciate your vulnerability. I can emotionally tell that you're really connected to this. And I know, by the way, I want you to know, girl, I know how much you love people. I know how much you desire to help people. And I know that you have no intention to harm people. However, our beliefs will win out supreme, whether positive or negative. So what we need to do is we need to actually get rid of the negative belief. And I have a way that we're going to do that today. Are you ready?
Yes.
Close your eyes. I want you to go back to that failure that you were thinking about. And I want you to think of the name of the person that you think you hurt the most. A body bag. What's their name?
Chandra.
I want you to go back to that moment with Chandra when you felt like you zipped her up in that body bag, a ruined relationship, you ruined everything, and here comes the reinforcement. I hurt people. And it's a powerful moment for you, but it needs to be changed. You can't change the past, but you can change the meaning. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to imagine that you had an advocate, someone that you trust and love, someone that believes in you, that they could help you reshape the meaning from this memory with Chandra. If you could invite anyone from your past, anyone from history, anyone that feels most appropriate in your heart right now to advise you, to love you, who would that be?
That would be the Spirit Mother.
As the Spirit Mother comes to you, she has a message. And she sees that you're about to make a huge mistake by believing that you are the cause of hurt for people. And what would Spirit Mother say to you instead?
She said, you love her. You're just helping her. You tried so hard to help her, and you really did help her. And you helped a lot of people. You really did.
So take that in. Take that in, Darcy. I want you to feel that. Put your hand, put it on your heart, breathe it in. That message, I really do help people. That's the real truth, not this lie that I hurt people. And I want you to now recite your 3 new statements in this emotional state. Powerfully.
I set people free. I help people live out their dreams. I help people have a beautiful and extraordinary life.
Yes. How does that feel?
That feels right.
It does feel right. And I want you to understand that when we have our most intense emotions is when we make decisions, and those decisions stick with us through life. In that intense emotion with your friend, you decided that you are a herder of people. Right now, you've created a very powerful emotion and you've set the record straight. And what I need you to do is every morning for the next 21 days in your mind palace, I want you to get into that same emotional state, and I want you to recite these 3 ideas. And what will happen is they will become the forefront in your perception of your new creation. It will become the mantra, the song of your life. It will be the dance that you do. It'll be you impacting the world in the most powerful way, knowing that you are a beautiful gift to this world, and you've got to focus on how you help and serve and love people, and let go of the idea that you hurt people so that you don't accidentally build that into your creation. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
In this moment, let's just celebrate Darcy. I'm going to invite everyone to chime in the chat below and just acknowledge what you see in her. What is the greatness? What's the beauty? What is the gift that she's offered to you? Just comment in the chat below. Make this woman feel loved, that she's redefining who she is, that she's redefining what's possible for her. She remembers the truth.
And Darcy, as they're chiming in, see your friend in that body bag and unzip it, help them out, and realize that it's up to her to decide what failure and success looks like, but that in your heart, you were there loving her and serving her.
So what are you learning about yourself, Darcy?
That I'm free from that body bag, because I put myself in that body bag too. And
Yes.
I don't have to punish myself for success anymore.
Yeah, how beautiful. And in this moment, make a decision. What's one thing you can do in the next 24 hours that will help you move forward with this new belief? What's one thing you can do?
Oh, one thing is to take on just exactly what Kris said in the next 24 hours, is to go through my 3 powerfully and emotionally, and keep doing that, keep putting that in there, because that is my truth.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Kris, talk to people about the practice of reinforcing these new beliefs. What's the practice to make sure, and you mentioned 21 days, but share why this is important for Darcy, why it's important for all of us to commit to the journey of reinforcing these new beliefs.
Yeah, so understand that by the time you left childhood, you already decided who you were going to be at 70 years old. You already made every important life decision. You already decided your preferences for everything. And you already decided what was true, except the only problem is you can't affect truth. You have opinions. And we are part of the My Truth movement, where people love to say, well, my truth is this and my truth is that. It's all bull crap. There's truth with a capital T, and then there's your opinion. And the truth is that your opinions are often wrong about yourself, because in childhood, we reinforce ideas like I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or I'm not fast enough, or I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I can't do this, or it's not in my genetic code, or I'll never overcome my fat, and I can't love people, and I'm not loved by people, and I'm not special. There are thousands of limiting beliefs that we decide in childhood, and we carry them with us into adulthood. If you've ever wondered why you have an emotional whirlwind moment where you just fall apart, it's because you're stepping into that previous younger age that is remembering a reinforced limiting belief. And here's what it takes to really make a belief stick: really powerful emotion and an idea. Now, if I take a negative emotion and I pair it with a negative idea, I will literally embody the opinion that I am this limiting belief, and I'll treat it like truth, but it's just a lie. In adulthood, I feel like, first of all, that's inescapable. I got 4 kids. I've been testing it. And while I'm trying to raise the 4 most conscious kids on the planet, the reality is I've also learned the truth that their journey requires them to have a jacked up mindset by the time they're 18 years old in some way, shape, or form, like all of us. So as adults, we have to have a way of undoing the damage that we created. And how do we do that? By reinforcing something different. So every morning, my practice is I go into a mind palace. This is a meditation. And what I will do is every morning, I'm going to be at the gym. I'm going to work out my body because I want my spirit to command my body. I want my spirit to command my mind. I'll be reading books. So I spend a couple hours cultivating myself. But the most important thing that it culminates to is when I go into my mind palace. And what that looks like is generally 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 minutes where I will close my eyes, and in my mind, I will step into my palace, my kingdom. And what I will do is I will revisit the new beliefs that I'm reinforcing powerfully with deep emotion. So for example, I'm always making improvements in my body, in my relationships, in my finances, and in my personal power. Those are the 4 areas of life that circumscribe everything for me. So I'll go into my body room. This is where I see myself at my fittest state. I'll see myself having accomplished all of my physical goals, and I will allow myself to believe that I've already achieved them. I will occupy time and space where I've already in the future get to enjoy today what those future results are, so that I can convince my subconscious mind that they already are. And I will recite my new beliefs. I'm strong, I'm powerful, I love my body, I've achieved all my goals, I feel incredible, etc., etc. Right? But then I go in my relationship room where I get to enjoy all of my relationships in peak state, the ones that I'm improving and working on, including myself. I will go into my money room. Gerald asked about how do I reprogram my money beliefs. You should map out all your limiting beliefs about money. There's not enough money. There's, I'm not good at making money. Making money is too hard. It's not worthwhile. Takes money to make money. We have all these dumb ideas that are, frankly, they're not truth. They're opinions. And because we honor opinion like truth, it becomes our reality. If you want to change your reality, you got to start back at the beginning and unwind and say, I'm going to change my opinions that I think are truth. And so I'm going to decide making money is easy. Making money is fun. I'm an expert at making money. Money flows easily and effortless to me. And then I'm going to celebrate it with good emotion, because I need heightened emotion, which you can choose your emotional state. I choose into a high emotional vibrational state in my mind palace, seeing myself surrounded with the opulence of everything I'm in process of creating as if it's already been. And by spending time there, I come out of my mind palace 10 minutes later, and I've already experienced everything I want as if it already was. And what I'm doing is I'm teaching my brain to see it in here so that I can create it out here. When I see it in here and I start to believe it, I can then act on it with faith, put it into action, and then actually create it out here in the real world.
I love you so much, Kris. Like, it is so fun creating with you and just experiencing the wisdom that you have. Who else is enjoying this conversation right now? Just chime in the chat below. Like, I think this is hitting the chord for so many people, because there's this natural tendency that the world is in where so many people are like freaking out, and they're in this moment of chaos, and in chaos they drive deeper into their limiting beliefs. And remember, like, a trigger is nothing more than this opinion that it's like when external reality affects this opinion, this limiting belief that we have inside, and that creates this emotional trigger for us, and then we begin reacting rather than creating. And I think it's so powerful to just have moments like this as our legendary tribe gathers, to remember what's most important, and then choose to create from that mind palace, and to like intentionally go in and redecorate the rooms. How many of you feel like you're ready to upgrade your mind palace? Go ahead and chime in the chat below and say, I'm ready to upgrade. Beautiful. So let's dig into this a little bit more, Kris. For the people that are ready to upgrade, I would love to just talk about, because I know one of the things that both of us are big advocates of is this idea of manifestos and creating personal manifestos for what we want, because there's power in our words. There's power in reinforcing the ideas that really work for us. Will you talk to us about the power of manifestos and why, in terms of creating wealth and upgrading our abundance experience, why this is important?
Yeah, so years ago, I wrote a book called Limitless, and it was a collection of the most devastating and the most powerful beliefs on the planet, and a process of how you actually program them. By the way, that's a free gift for anyone that's here. If you look up my name and spell it right, Kris Krohn, it's with a K and K. Gerald will put it in the chat. But if you just go to any of my YouTube videos, so I just declined a call coming in. If you go to any of my YouTube videos, you'll find in the description below links to a whole bunch of free resources. But one of them is this book called Limitless. You pay for the shipping and handling, and then the book just comes to you in the mail for free. And in this book, in the back of it, I actually collected several thousand of the top limiting beliefs. And then I created 3 new beliefs for every one limiting belief. And basically, it's a collection of the top 1,000 beliefs that if you had, your life would never be the same again, or you would be able to create your most powerful level. And that's what my last decade-long journey has been. It's been a journey of literally reprogramming all negativity out of my mind. I'm not sure if I'll ever be there. I'm not going to be perfect in life, but I've eliminated so much of this negativity that now when I create,
My name is Kris Krohn.
A little bit of effort goes a really long way. And so if you want to be a more powerful creator,
you can have it all.
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here.
All right. Sorry.
ain't so crazy.
How do you create?
Gerald.
I
Gerald's like, I'm checking out Kris's YouTube channel right now.
I totally went to your YouTube channel so I could get that link, and then I'm connected the sound. So you just got like a little live sneak peek into it.
Yeah, it's my fault. It's all autoplay. Yeah. So if you get that book at the very end of it, here's a little cheat sheet for you. You can literally go to the very end of the book. I mean, read the book to learn how to reprogram your mind, but literally, I created the coolest sheet on the planet for mindset. I took the top 1,000 most powerful beliefs, 250 money beliefs, 250 relationship beliefs, 250 personal power beliefs, and 250 health beliefs. And if you will underline the ones that resonate the most, they will coordinate to the things that hurt you the most. So if you find the limiting beliefs that resonate, you'll get all the new beliefs that you want, and you can literally go in your mind palace. And if you'll just recite those new beliefs that apply to you the most, 21 days from now, you literally could wake up an entirely different human being. And so that's a cheat sheet to all of the magic words. Literally, it's magic, because these words have all been proof to be positive and powerful. You just got to find the ones that resonate. And that's the biggest gift I think that I could give any of you today is use that book as a cheat and a shortcut to literally over 10,000 hours I've put in to try to hunt down the most damaging limiting beliefs, the most common and the most powerful new beliefs. And take 21 days and every day spend 10 minutes in your mind palace reading them with good juju. Put some music on, get yourself in a good state, feel good about yourself, and then link that good energy to those new beliefs. You put them together 21 days later. Day one, you'll be like, that's all bullcrap. Day 21, you'll be like, oh no, that's me to a T. And then you'll start creating the natural results that belong to those beliefs.
All right, I have posted in the comments the link for Kris's free book. Yeah, and I I love Josh's like, can you demonstrate one of your rants? This is exciting, and I got to take everyone to this moment, Kris. I got to take everyone to this moment. Kris and I were leading this limitless event, and we had a full day. And in the evening, we always like try to create these special experiences. And Kris comes to me like probably like 10 minutes before the doors open. He's like, Gerald, let's do something different. I'm like, all right, what do you want to do? He's like, I got this idea. That's how you know something magical is about to happen. So everyone comes in and walks in, and Kris is like, all right, and he gets everyone like hyped up. And then we have everyone separated into these like two different teams. Like, so there's Kris's team, my team, and we do this like this manifesto, this rant, like face off, like, and so Kris is leading his team and they're shouting, I'm a powerful creator, and all his team is like cheering, I'm a powerful creator, and I'm like, I love my life, and my whole team are like, I love my, and so we're doing this like chanting back and forth, like almost like this like street battle type thing. And then it climaxes where our two teams come together, and we probably have like 300 people in the room, and we're all like jumping up and down, and we're screaming these rounds, and everyone's saying, I am limited, and everyone's jumping up and down, and it is just like crazy, outrageous energy as everyone's doing this. One of my favorite moments in all the events we've did is like someone come running up from us, like, what are you guys doing? And we had like shattered a chandelier in the floor beneath us because we had 300 people jumping up and down on this floor all at the same time. So that was a classic moment.
Crazy.
So what do you think about doing like a manifest around it? And we can, the fun thing is we can do this all together. Like,
oh, wow. You want to go big.
Oh yeah. This is like, lead us, like show us what a manifest around looks like. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to take everyone off mute and we're all going to do our own manifesto rant together for like 1 minute straight, where we're just going to bring all the energy, all the ferocity, all the excitement, and so yeah.
So here's the reality. If you are not intentionally programming your beliefs, then you're allowing society to do it. You're allowing it to happen unconsciously. And it is really how we get completely jacked up in our own personal life. So I learned, however, that if Darcy understands these 3 new beliefs and just says them, it doesn't do anything. The only way to actually program them into your perception is you got to believe them. And there's only one way to believe them. It's to infuse them with energy, intense energy, positive energy. So a rant, you know, right now I have a lexicon of thousands of beliefs that I've put in my mind. And I know that if I want them to stick, that I have to put intense energy into them. And so, yeah, you might want to call it a rant. And if you might want to see like just a little bit of what that looks like, I'm just going to like pull up what's currently at the top of my mind when it comes to beliefs that I have about myself. If I tap into just what's happening in the coronavirus today, let me just share with you maybe then just like a little piece of what's actually going on up here in my mind. My name is Kris Krohn. I'm a powerful creator. Everything is going my way. I love my life. I love everything going on. I love how I help people. I love how I show up. I love how I create, because everything goes my way. I am powerful. And I'm an amazing father. I'm an amazing husband. I'm amazing at treating people right. In fact, I love to serve people in the most powerful, meaningful way that I possibly can, because that's who I am. That's how I show up, and that's how I create. Right?
Oh, yes. All right, everyone. So here we go. I'm going to take everyone off mute. And for 1 minute straight, I want everyone to go on a crazy manifesto rant. Feel the energy, raise the vibration. Let's make it happen.
Positive.
So for 1 minute straight, everyone.
Stand up. You gotta stand up. You gotta get out.
I'm a powerful creator. I'm a lovely mother. I'm a wonderful mother and a wonderful, awesome grandmother and an awesome great grandmother. I'm a powerful friend.
I love others with all my heart. I serve God.
I do what I want. On this vibe. Everyone else's life.
Worthy of love, fun to be around, have lots of energy, make other people happy.
Now in this moment, just take a big deep breath in and breathe out. Just close your eyes right now and just feel that energy flowing through your body. Feel that those words that you speak are a command to the universe to bring those things in. Right now, in this moment, allow yourself to simply feel that you're a magnet, drawing those things in. And as a conscious creator, you are intentionally going out there and claiming the life you are meant to live. Kris, in the last few minutes we have together, what other wisdom do you want to share with us as people are going out there and moving beyond just the affirmation, but they're going into the action and the energy of those words?
So, final thoughts here. First of all, Gerald, thank you for inviting me. You are an amazing mentor. I'm sure all of you understand what a privilege it is to be in Gerald's airspace, to learn and grow from him. He has applied so much of this learning over the years, and it's always an honor. Thank you very much, Gerald. Final thought here. Gerald's right. The law of attraction just says think good thoughts and you're good. Execution is everything. You've got to show up. You have got to take action. And how I like to do that is I like to do that through inspiration, or what I call intuition. So if you do not ask questions, you cannot grow. The secret to growth is asking good quality questions, and your questions should be changing every day. You should have a book of questions. And so here's how I figure out what my next step is. It is by, after I've got myself in a peak state and I know that I'm correcting my mindset, then, and I do this throughout the day, I'll just take a moment, close my eyes, take a deep breath in, and then I'll ask the question. I'll go to my intuition. So for example, let's just say that my business has been hurt by coronavirus and I'm only at half revenue. then I might be asking myself, how do I double my revenue today? That might be the question. If I'm struggling in a relationship with my spouse, I might ask, how can I love my spouse today? Or how can I develop deeper self-love or love for them? If I'm struggling with my body because I'm at war with the gym, but I know that I need to be working out, then I might ask myself, how can I get excited about going to the gym? When you ask these questions, these quality questions lead to quality answers. And I want you to know that the answer is only 5 seconds away. If you're listening correctly, the answer is always 5 seconds away. This is not a 3-month prayer to get a little bit of info. It's literally all available. It's whether or not you have the ability to hear it. So what I want you to do right now is I want all of you to try this by actually just coming up with a question that would serve you. Ask yourself, where am I struggling the most? And what's a good question that I could ask that would give me a breadcrumb or information today to act on that would help resolve that problem? So do it right now. Just come up with a question, and we'll know you got it because I want you to use the chat. I love this. Someone says, how can I show up to serve my purpose? And if you're asking that question, it's because the most important thing on your mind is, I need to be living on purpose, because when I live on purpose, I have meaning in my life. That's why you would ask that question. So ask a powerful question that really has the most meaning in your life today. For some of you, it might be making more money or solving a problem in your business. Don't judge yourself, but be specific. Like, what is the biggest problem you need to solve? And what question could you ask that if you had an answer would make a difference? And when you know that, so how can I double my income? How can I most effectively and efficiently complete this book process? Great questions. So guys, if you'll look at that, I want all you to post a question there, because the exercise matters only if you have a question to ask. How can I build a program? How can I stay patient with my children? How can I build a program that can serve 1,000 people powerfully and effortlessly? Excellent. Well, listen, you guys know what your question is. Once you know what the question is, I want to show you how simple it is to get an answer. And here's what you need to understand. An answer does not mean understanding everything. An answer means a breadcrumb that you can act on. My whole business grows by intuition. And I only get intuition if I'm seeking for information that I don't know. So this is not a logical process. What it is, it's an intuitive process. So here's how you can do that. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose, filling up all of your lungs, max capacity, and hold your breath for 3 seconds at the top. And after you've held it for 3 seconds, slowly release through your mouth. Okay, this time take the breath twice as slow. Breathe it in, fill in your lungs all the way, max capacity, hold it at the top for 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and then slowly out your mouth release. This is a mind clearing process. Once your mind is clear, just ask your question, expecting an answer in the next 5 seconds. Go ahead in your mind and ask the question, and then listen. I'm going to give you about 10 or 15 more seconds. I want you to know that the answer has already come if you've asked. To listen to it, you've got to make sure you're not judging whatever comes up. You've got to accept whatever comes up, no matter how small. And when you feel like you have an answer, I want you to actually type that in the chat bar, what you feel like your next step is. What did you get? Go ahead and text that. All right. So go over Gerald's planner to start, knowing that you're on the right track. There's learning there. Revamp my YouTube channel. How do I know? Okay, so we got questions, we got answers coming in. So here's what I want you to understand, that when you ask a question, your answer will be specific, and it's what you need to be doing in that moment. I personally only fill up my calendar generally with only a half schedule that I'm willing to work. So if I'm willing to work 4 hours today, I'll only have 2 hours of appointments. The other 2 hours is for me to ask questions and then act on that divine inspiration or that intuition. Those are the most important things that I can be doing that day. So you've got to make room for the unknown. If everything is pre-plotted out, then you're not making room for your biggest move. your biggest move will come through intuition. It's the most important priority of the day. And so I do my mind palace. I affirm what is most important in my life. And then I figure out what I'm working on. I go to my intuition, I ask the question. Whatever the answer is, I don't judge it. I do it. And then if I'm done by 10 o'clock, I can ask again and get some more instruction. At 6 p.m., I can ask for instruction. I can ask for instruction all day long. This is what's called living by inspiration. If you want your life to be inspired, then you have to seek inspiration, and then you have to be willing to act on it. So when Gerald says, so at the end of the day, what do you take action on? Well, we can get technical with strategies and what I'm working on and what my schedule dictates. That is not the most important action of the day. For me, the most important action is what is most inspired. You can't get that unless you ask. Gerald, I got to bounce. Guys,
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really great to connect with all of you.
Chris, just a huge shout out. Thank you, Chris. Like what a amazing hour, and I really appreciate you. And everyone, I post that link in there. I'm posting it one more time so you can get Chris's free book that he offered. Follow him on YouTube. He's has so much brilliant content that he's putting out there. And Kris, it's always an honor to play with you. Want to make a quick invite for everyone that's here. If you haven't already, make sure you block off next Wednesday through Friday for our legendary virtual breakthrough experience. It's 3 days of deep dive transformational experiences to help you reprogram your subconscious so you can show up as the most powerful version of you in this life. And it's a profoundly powerful event. Once again, tickets, you can get tickets by going to maylegendary.com. I'm going to give you an invitation there. Tickets are $497. But for those of you that want to step into being a tribe member, you get free tickets. It's just $88 to join the tribe. And you go to legendarytribemember.com. Once again, www.legendarytribemember.com. And you'll get not just one, but you get 2 tickets to come to this event. Plus you'll have recordings to this interview that we just did with Kris and all of our mastery hours as part of the Lion's Den. And there's some subconscious reprogramming audios that I put on there too, or actually hypnosis audios. One of them is creating a wealth and prosperity abundance mindset. So that's a hypnosis audio that you have access to just by being part of that. So legendarytribemember.com. Join us there and block off those dates the next Wednesday through Friday for the legendary virtual breakthrough experience. I love you guys so much. Go ahead and take yourself off mute and send each other off with some love. Take care, guys.
And we are not just to give, but we're also to receive.
Bye.
It's a cycle.
Thank you, guys.
And if you still haven't learned that, it's about time that you do.
Powerful.
I look forward to